All right, let's do the hands-on challenge for the batch Apex. So what is the challenge? Create an Apex class that uses batch Apex to update lead records. So the Apex class has to be called LeadProcessor. I'm going to copy this for now and go to my playground, launch my developer console, and make a new one. File, new Apex class, LeadProcessor. Okay, so I'm going to close the previous challenge classes and head back to our challenge. Use a query locator in the start method to collect all leads records in the org. Alright, so let's go up here and copy the code from the sample, which is this part, right? So this is the batch class. I'm going to copy that and we are going to modify it over here. So it's called LeadProcessor. I'm going to copy and paste everything and change this to LeadProcessor. Okay, that's the first step. Let me see if we can save this. Email utils, line 39. Well, we are not going to use any email utils, so I'm going to take this out for now. So for the finish, I'm just going to take everything out for now. Okay, so I'm going to save this. So next we are going to modify the socle. Okay, so Database.Batchable as object stateful. We don't actually need the stateful for now, so I'm going to take this stateful out. And we don't need this variable as well. I'm going to take this out. Take this comment out. And the query locator, I'm going to change this to a lead, right? Record process, we don't have that. Okay. We are not going to do that anyway. So on the socle, I'm going to delete this whole thing here. And we are just going to select, what are we going to do, the challenge? Let's see. So to collect all lead records in the org, basically all the leads, okay? So I am just going to do select ID from leads. Oops, what's that? A pop-up. So I'm going to go select ID from lead. So if you want to test your socle, you can do to your query editor here and just paste it and execute. So you got all the leads, right? We have 23, so that socle would work. That's how you can test it. So I'm going to keep that socle. I'm going to save that. So we have the start, which is just selecting the ID from lead, everything. So I don't have a where statement. We don't need the where. Okay, so next, the execute method must update all lead records in the org with LeadSource of Dreamforce. Okay, so we want a list of lead. Okay, a list of lead. So this is a list of lead. So it's going to accept a list of lead, not account. So I'm going to change this to list of lead. Okay, now for This is the scope. So the list of lead will be the scope. Okay. So we don't need this list of contacts. I'm going to take this out and change for lead, because the object is a lead, right? And I'm going to say this lead, the scope is lead. So I'm going to change and take this out. We don't need that. And we don't need that. Variables does not exist, line 14. Well, there we go. So the lead dot, what do we want to update? LeadSource, which is Dreamforce. Okay, lead.LeadSource equals Dreamforce. Okay, so and then I'm going to update the leads. So to do that, I want to make a list, actually a list of leads. Okay, a list of leads. So a list of lead, let's name it leads, equals new list, of lead. Instantiate it. And on here, I want to add, I want to add this lead into this list. Okay, so leads.add lead. Okay, so it's going to loop right here. It's looping, and I want to add this lead, which we are going to update to this list of leads. And then this is for bulkifying it, and then you update the leads. All right, so I'm going to save this. So this is the looping, and then while you're looping, you keep adding it to the leads list, and then update it outside of the loop, so it's bulkified. Okay, so we are good on there. Do we need to put a finish? So next is create an Apex test class, which is that. All right, so our start and our execute is working pretty good, right? So we can test this using the anonymous, execute anonymous. So let's test this out. So I want to test this by actually running the batch, like an example we have over here, somewhere here. So we can run this like so. Okay, so I'm going to try and run this. I'm going to copy this, and no, I'm going to actually run this one. Run this, copy that. Okay, so this is how I'm going to test it. Right now, what is this stuff? Right now, my leads, if I go here, my leads, all of it, all open leads maybe. So the lead source, let's put it on here. We don't have a lead source right now, right? So if I change this and I want to add the column, select fields to display, lead source, put it on the right and save on the right here, very right. So it's all mixed up, right? Now, when we run this batch, it should change all of this to Dreamforce. Then it means our batch class is working as expected. Okay, so Command E, and I'm going to, sorry about that, make this bigger and paste that. So my batch class is actually lead processor, right? So lead processor, this is the class, right? If I scroll up, say class lead processor equals, well, you can rename this my leads or whatever you want, new lead processor. Okay, this is the ID, batch ID, database execute batch lead or my leads. There. When we run this, we should see all the leads change to Dreamforce. Then it's working. What is this popping up all over the place? Sorry about that. And I'm going to execute this. It's running. And then I can also check from the jobs here. If I go to setup and I go to jobs, Apex jobs, you can see the status here. Batch Apex completed, lead processor, job ID. You can see from there, right? So if I refresh this, they should all have Dreamforce. Boom! It is working, baby! So now we are going to create a test class because we know for sure that our batch class here is working perfectly. Perfecto. Okay, so let's create the batch class. Okay, let's flip back to our challenge. Do we have to name the test class particularly? Yes, LeadProcessorTest. So LeadProcessorTest is the name of the test class file, new. Apex class, LeadProcessorTest, okay. And I am going to copy again from the Trailhead, the test class we have here. Copy this. So LeadProcessorTest, I'm gonna rename this to LeadProcessorTest. Okay, so what do we need to do on the challenge here for testing? In the task class, insert 200 lead records. Execute the LeadProcessor Batch class and test that all lead records were updated correctly. Okay, so first off, we are going to set up and insert 200 lead records. So to do that, on the setup, we don't need a list of contacts. So I'm going to just take this out for this one, and this we don't need. I'm gonna take this out. So the setup, I don't need the list of contacts. We are just going to use a list of lead. Name this leads, a list of lead, right? So this we want to do 200. Okay, so 0 to 200. So until 199, it's going to stop. Account or leads dot add, this leads, right? The list. New lead. Lead plus I, and we don't need this stuff here. We don't need the billing country. We don't need the billing city. So just lead and then insert leads. Okay, so that should take care of it. Now the test. Test start test. So the name, or maybe first name or last name. Last name is lead, not just the name, right? Yeah. Okay, so test start test. Update contact address. So we want to actually just copy this thing here. Oops. What on earth, dude? I'm going to copy from my command E here. Copy that. So I'm going to paste it over here. So basically we are creating lead processor, right? We are creating the lead processor class, and then we are executing it. Yep, that's what we are doing. And I'm going to take this out. And test, stop test. So let's see if the error is picking up. Okay, we are good to go. So system assert equals, it needs to be 200 probably, right? Select count from lead. That's it. We should just have 200. Or where LeadSource equals Dreamforce. Like that, right? So it should be 200 leads that the lead source is equal Dreamforce. All right, baby. So that's it. I'm gonna scroll this down, make sure all is good. And now we are going to run the task and make sure that it's 100% code coverage and that it's passed the test. So I'm going to run the test here. Oh, something went wrong. Let's take a look what's going on. There. Insert failed. Oh, required field missing. I don't know what's required field for a company. Company is required for a lead. Okay, let's define a company. I didn't know that. Company for a lead is actually required. So new lead last name equals lead plus I, comma, company equals test goal. Okay, I'm going to save that. So we need to add a company, and we are going to run the second test. Boom. Green. Yes, baby. Yes, baby, it's green. So what is it called again? Lead processor should be 100% here. Oh, did I miss it? HIJKL. Huh, what is it? Let me just sort by percent there. Boom. Yes, 100%. So it's all blue. So that's it. We are good to go. So I'm going to let you see the whole code. This is the actual class code, which we've gone through and discussed. This is our actual test code. That's it. So we first set up 200 leads, and then we instantiate the batch, and then run the batch, and that's it. Now let's grab our 500 points. And I'll see you on the next video, which will be control processes with queuable Apex. Bada bing, bada boom. Hit that subscribe button and explore new Trailhead grounds and learn to implement the most useful and popular apps on the Salesforce App Exchange. And do yourself a favor, like this video, and you'll be surprised on how much more you understand when watching this same video after liking it. Don't take my word. Watch this one more time after you like the video and see it for yourself. Bada bing, bada boom.